kommen zu einem jungen Mann aus den Niederlanden. 28 Jahre ist er alt, hat in diesem Jahr seine zweite WM gespielt im legendären Alexandra Palace. Aktuell ist er die Nummer 60 der Welt. Die Rede ist von The Bomb, Ron Meulenkamp. The Bomb nimmt es auf mit der Nummer 8 der Welt, ein Mann mit Premier League Erfahrung, einer der erfolgreichsten Spieler auf der European Tour. Er hat schon 4 European Tour Titel einheimsen können und zu alledem ist er vor kurzem zum zweiten Mal Papa geworden. Also war ein schwerer Weg von zu Hause weg hier nach Riesa. Herzlich willkommen dem Bully Boy Michael Smith. Ein herzliches Willkommen auch dem Caller dieses Matches, Paul Hinks.
Well, Michael Smith comes into this tournament in great form on the European Tour, having made at least the semi-finals in 5 of the last 6 events. He also comes into it as a 27-year-old, and he also comes into it as a father of 2. A very special birthday gift last Monday for the Bully Boy. Welcome to the world, Kasper Alexander Smith. Best wishes to Dagmara as well. Mensur Suljovic and his wife also celebrating a new arrival fairly recently too. There must be something here for Michael Smith as well, because this is a venue where he had one of his European Tour successes 2015 when he overcame Benito van der Pas to win this title, the inaugural edition of the International Darts Open. Seeded 4 here this weekend, and Smith begins his campaign against a man who opened up with a 6-1 win over Mick McGowan yesterday, the Dutchman, the Bomb, Ron Meulenkamp, 28 years old, making only his 2nd appearance on the European Tour this year. Paul Nicholson watching this one alongside me.
Yeah, I'm still buzzing from the first game of the night, and
never mind that.
I had a little bit of a break after the first game, then I seemed to miss a very good game between Dennis Nielsen and Daryl Gurney, so we did say tonight was going to be rather good. It is proving to be that, and Michael Smith, the number 4 seed, and Ron the Bomb have got an act to follow. Or should I say Ron, the artist formerly known as Ron Meulenkamp, who seems to have lost about my entire weight this year. Fair play to you, Ron. Looking good, mate.
.60 on the order of merit is Ron Meulenkamp. Like I say, making only his 2nd appearance on the Euro Tour this year. He suffered a first-round defeat in Sindelfingen in May at the hands of John Henderson.
140.
Played in 3 of these tournaments last year. And a tough assignment here for him. Michael Smith in great nick right now. Seems to be in a really good place as well, does Michael Smith, you have to say. As far as the Euro Tour is concerned, just that one blot on the copybook of late. It was a quarter-final defeat by Simon Whitlock in Mannheim last time out, but like I say, elsewhere, made the semis in 5 of the last 6 events. He's a Euro Tour champion this year as well, winning the trophy, or lifting the trophy, in Gibraltar in May. And it's where he says he does his best stuff, Michael Smith, on the Euro Tour. Elsewhere, he admits perhaps he puts too much pressure on himself. It's something he's aware of and trying to address, but there's something about the Euro circuit that does bring out the best in Michael Smith.
Yeah,
maybe
right.
I suspect it's the atmosphere for a start-off which helps.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, tonight the atmosphere is electric. Ron, though, I remember watching him in Austria last year when he had some decent stuff that weekend. We're talking about how he's changed his style over the last couple of seasons to get better. A lot of pros are doing that these days. Michael just setting it up because Ron not on a finish, but noticed as well, new darts for Ron. Barrel very Andrew Gilding-like, but it's definitely working. Good win yesterday against the Magnet. Tops for Michael Smith, double 10. Yeah, very tidy indeed. And I know what Michael Smith's like. You'll tell him 17 dart leg and he'll say that's a D-. He's definitely capable of the kind of things that Dave Chisnell was doing on his throw earlier on this evening, but How about the celebrations of Dennis Nielsen, eh?
Yeah, brilliant.
The Nordic and Baltic guys are bringing their game this year.
We talked about it in commentary as well, the fact that they have this Nordic and Baltic amalgamation now. And it does seem to be, I'm pretty sure the two are correlated, if you like. The success they've had on the Euro Tour this year, coupled with the fact it seems to be a more streamlined organisation now in terms of the regularity of the tournaments they're having over there as well. Nielsen was the winner of one of those Nordic and Baltic events in Norway earlier this year. But yeah, terrific achievement by the 41-year-old, the strong man.
Yeah, back to Ron Meulenkamp as well. Don't have many left-handers on the tour these days. It's definitely one of the best lefties in the world. There's Ian White, chewing his fingernails. Who's he got his money on? Nobody, because we don't bet in darts. We're not allowed to, and we don't want to.
This is why I give you the occasional golden coin. It's purely hypothetical money.
Of course it is.
We're going to give Ian White a golden coin.
A golden dab. It's nice to see the guys sticking around to watch good darts. Just to get an idea of what is going on.
85.
Ron might be looking at 420s here. It's an awkward bypass start needed to the left. Oh, what a great shot. Double 18. Very good indeed. That is a very good finish. And he acknowledges it.
Third leg is Michael through first.
Well, Meulenkamp had a couple of surplus checkouts yesterday against Mick McGowan. One in the first leg, one in the second leg. 1-1-8 checkout to take a 1-0 lead, and then a 1-0-1 to make it 2-0, and he never really looked back from that moment on. It was 6-1 in the end. 1-1-6 checkout to level things up in this one, and he's in the red stuff once again here. And it's a 10-80. And he celebrates it fairly emphatically as well. Off the mark in this third leg. Smith with
100.
just one or two things to think about. Don't think he'll be flustered too much just yet, but
you mentioned that Michael Smith was in a good place, and you can tell that Ron Meulenkamp's in a good spot as well, because he's lost a bit of timber
95.
and he's gone down the max hop route. I think he's looked in the mirror, he was starting to put on a bit of weight, and he says, you know what, this is not sustainable. I've got to do something about it. He's done something about it. And I looked at his results in the qualifiers over the last few months, and he's been very, very close. He's been pipped here and there by really good players. But he's here, and he wants to make the most of it. This is brilliant from Ron the Bomb.
well, I'm pretty sure Michael Smith won't have been underestimating the challenge ahead of him tonight when he was warming up in the
56.
players' practice room. But Ron Meulenkamp is certainly giving him plenty to think about here. 46 points away then from a break of throw. Tops then for a 2-1 lead. That was some way north, and that was just below the wire.
Michael 112.
But Smith still has to make up some ground here. 52 away. Tops.
92.
Just reaching for that last dart. He knew at the very last millisecond that it was just coming out of the hand too late. Tried to rescue it. Didn't have enough. Double 10 for the bomb. Very good. You've got to say, Dutch darts is in such a good place, like these two guys are in their lives. And you talk about Van Gerwen and Klaassen and Van Barneveld and Van der Voort and Jan Dekker. And then you think, we've still got like Ron Meulenkamp as well. The richness of talent. Absolutely astonishing. It's like Simple Minds, isn't it? Don't you forget about me, Ron says.
Yeah, it's actually quite astonishing that Meulenkamp is the only Dutch player involved in tonight's session here on day 2. No problem earlier on, though, for Jelle Klaassen coming through at the expense of Brendan Dolan. Benito van der Pas, though, saying goodbye earlier, losing to Peter Jakes.
Yeah, Yalla played well earlier. Enjoyed his game. But Peter Jakes just dispatched Van der Pas. Must be those new shirts of Peter Jakes.
90.
Just while we're at the early stages of this fourth leg, another word about what Michael Smith has been up to this summer. More congratulations. I'm not sure if it's been mentioned already, but his raising of money for Parkinson's UK by diving off the Sky Tower in Auckland. There's footage of it on the PDC website. He was in Auckland, of course, for the World Series, and he was involved in the tournaments in Melbourne and Perth as well. Just restricted to wins over local players Rob Jarbo, David Platt and Adam Rowe respectively in those, but he certainly made the most of that trip down under and did some good work away from the Oki as well.
There's two ways of looking at it. Well, actually three. One, fair play to Michael for jumping off a building. Two, Gary Anderson would probably pay more than £1,000 to throw Michael Smith off a building. And from a selfish point of view, it's no bungee jump, is it?
Well,
you have to do the bungee jump next year, Michael, off Auckland Bridge. I'd highly recommend it. Yeah.
He's a braver man than me, I'll tell you that.
I don't think there are many players who would do it. And that's what's so brilliant about it. Michael Smith doing that, I tip my hat. Treble 18. Oh, just next door.
25.
Yeah, celebrated his 27th birthday last Monday, and along came baby number 2. Double 16 for leg number 2. That's on the way as well.
You do not see Michael Smith down that neck of the woods very often.
No,
he has a game plan of tops and 10s and 12s, much like James Wade and Anderson, but he's pretty good on double 16 as well.
He's good on treble 20s as well when the mood takes him. There we are, just a little kiss of the bicep. Nice touch.
Something's happening on this stage. I don't know if you've picked up on it, Rob.
It's subtle, it's very subtle, yeah.
There's some testosterone on this stage tonight. Hang on, if he hits this, something's going to happen.
120.
You saw in the background there, Michael Smith just shaking his head, just acknowledging, yeah, okay, just bring it on. But yeah, no malice, no animosity between these two. It's good to see.
Yeah, great spirit.
Yeah, good spirit from both players. Smith strays into the 5. Recovers very well though. 180 backed up by a 125 on his throw, down to 196.
Yeah, sometimes you've got really nasty battles on the stage, a la Van Gerwen against Taylor. Peter Wright and
60.
Gary Anderson have had a few words in the past, but it's refreshing to see sometimes that people want to just go up there and have a right old dust up and still want to remain buddies at the end. Ron's a great kid. Genuinely nice company. And Michael is genuinely one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
Well, he's had at least 2 trebles on each of his 3 visits so far. Potential 11 dart leg here to hold his throw for a 3-2 lead. And there we are, back to tops. Reverting to type here, but unable to find it. Just as well Meulenkamp's on 2-6-1.
You can see from Michael's face the standards that he lives by. He's 221 points in front. No need to panic. But it's that constant need to hit right away. The urgency. That's why he's a top 10 player. Tops again.
4 missed starts at tops, but he finds double 10. And just detained a little longer than he would have liked there, but he gets the job done. 3-2 he leads. This one is just beginning to bubble up nicely to a very gentle simmering point, and Michael Smith just looks to have settled into this one now. But Ron Meulenkamp's still there.
You know, one of the best compliments I can pay Michael Smith is that he'd be a terrible poker player. And that's a strange compliment, I know. But the thing is, we know what kind of mood he's in every time he's on the stage. At the end of that 5th leg, there was a little smile towards the camera. If he was in a bad mood, he wouldn't do that. He's easy to read.
He'd need the big visor and the shades, wouldn't he?
These days in poker, it's the branded cap and the shades.
100. 57.
Well, that success in Gibraltar earlier this year was European title number 4 for Michael Smith in his career. Went very close to making it 5 when he lost that 11-leg belter against Van Gerwen in the final in Vienna in June. 2 European Tour titles in 2015, sorry, and also that success in 2014 in Leipzig. Likes this part of Germany, the old East Germany, where we are now.
44.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a few more games like that final he had with Van Gerwen. It was one of the best games I've ever seen.
It was a classic.
Love it when those two guys go toe to toe. It's very special. Meulenkamp here, though. He has got the advantage in this leg.
100.
But he's disappointed with this one. And I feel that. The first start was prime in that 60 and didn't capitalise.
100. Roger McCall, 141.
Well, there's an outside chance of Michael Smith breaking here, but Meulenkamp is the favourite to win this 6th leg, you feel. That's hit a single 1, so he's 1-2-1 away.
45. Michael McCall, 160.
Somewhat unconventional.
Yeah.
But he's going to get another shot. This 96 here.
78. Roger McCall, 96.
This might have to go. There's only one way to go for this, really. Treble 20's got to be the first start. Will he stay there? It's a good lie.
Well, it was, and he did the right thing, but he was unable to find it. And Smith here, can he pounce all over it?
Bullseye. Had to shift for it.
57.
Only about 3 millimeters to the left of that bullseye it was. Fine margins. But Meulenkamp comes back for tops for a level game. Double 10. Can he do what Smith did and hit 10s? He can't. Big chance for Michael Smith.
Yeah, Meulenkamp just not happy with something going on to his right-hand side there. He just had a brief word in the ear of Paul Hinks, I think, there as well. Double 10 for Smith here, but Meulenkamp will return.
Roger McCall, 10.
Whatever it was, he's got to forget about it and just get this done. Easier said than done. He's got to take a big deep breath and just go for the target.
That's the danger. 5 away. Double 2.
In shot the 6th leg. Ron Meulenkamp.
Big dart that for Ron Meulenkamp. 3 apiece.
Game on.
I mean, it wouldn't have been game shot had he missed that one if Smith had taken it. Celebrating with his legion of Dutch fans. I think there's a pocket of Dutch fans away to that right-hand side, and I think one of them might have just been a bit overzealous earlier on.
Took the words right out of my mouth there. Overzealous. I think the crowd here are still getting over the first couple of matches. This one again is a very tense affair.
It's tense, but it's been played at a more, well, a very different pace to those previous encounters. Just to remind you, by the way, the winner of this will face either Rob Cross or Josh Payne, who meets a little later. That's in match 5 of the evening session. We'll have a little mini interval at the midway point after the match featuring Peter Wright and Chris Quantock, which is on stage next. Big occasion for Quanny. Another chance to test himself against one of the best in the world.
59.
Well, one guy who wants these guys to do well is the tattoo artist. Both of them
84.
got more ink than Bic.
You can see Michael Smith just looking a bit frustrated. He's done that 2 or 3 times now where he's just a little bit angry with himself. Okay, he's still in relatively good shape here, although Meulenkamp is looking to find a response. He's down to 202. And if Smith doesn't get this visit right, then Meulenkamp may well sense an opportunity.
96.
Could have been better from Smith. Again, there's the look of disappointment. 1-2-1 away, down to a finish. It's a big one. But Meulenkamp, 2 trebles here, will make things very interesting indeed. And he's found 2. Can he find something else to back it up? Yes, he can.
Very good indeed. Pressure's on this 1-2-1. 11. Double 14.
107. Ron, you require 57.
Well, the easier target was the double 14 if he hits the treble. But now Meulenkamp for a brilliant break. Again, it's a great guide. He doesn't take advantage again.
Michael, you require 14.
Smith with 3 for double 2 now to hold, and misses, and he's furious with himself.
He will be absolutely livid. 2 missed starts at tops already for Ron Meulenkamp here, and he's been given the opportunity to return. Michael Smith is not at his convincing best tonight. He's another opportunity. Third time of asking, though, he gets out of jail. And Michael Smith can only watch on and raise his eyebrows. That's the individual in question I was talking about just a few moments ago. It's that one isolated figure in a bit of a pocket of Dutch people.
She's quite vocal.
Very vocal.
And she's near the front. And so Michael Smith and Ron will definitely hear her.
It's doing Ron, I think, more damage than it is Michael Smith. But there's nothing Meulenkamp can do about her. Anyway, 4-3 with the break. And look at the gulf in the averages as well.
I can't believe that Ron Meulenkamp is beating Michael Smith 4-3 right now with an 80 average.
But we saw that in the match between Nielsen and Gurney. There was a bit of a gulf at one moment in time, and it's been a feature of a couple of matches this weekend as well.
16.
It's all about taking the opportunities at exactly the right time, and that was certainly what Dennis Nielsen did.
140.
I think Michael Smith is struggling with the deliberate pace of Ron Meulenkamp. He's itching to get back to the hockey, but he's got to wait. I think Michael would be playing better if he was up against an MVG or a Vincent van der Voort, not the more deliberate Meulenkamp. 19 to plenty will leave a finish. That leaves 1-3-2.
I mean, Smith's third dart average is nearly 37. Meulenkamp's is nearly 24, so there's a big gulf there. Very similar on the checkout percentages as well. So it's like Smith is scoring heavily, but then just giving Meulenkamp the chance to ease back into the leg. That's the big picture over the course of the first 7 legs so far, and that's why Meulenkamp has been able to get himself in this position despite this apparent gulf in the averages.
Ron, you require 100.
Noticed as well with a lot of the third darts that Ron has thrown, there's been a lunge with it as well.
Well, this would really, really hurt if this were to go. That's part one of the equation. Stand by for this, Paul.
Hold on to your hats if he hits the next treble.
Not to be. 78 away.
And look at the deliberate pause. I don't think it's a ploy. I really don't. This is just the way that Ron Meulenkamp plays. He thinks about things. Michael Smith is like a darting computer. He doesn't have to think. But he's got to hit this.
Oh, Michael Smith. Normally so reliable on tops and tens, but it's deserting him.
That lady's going to get told to sit down by security in a minute. But she'll stay standing if he hits tops, Ron Meulenkamp. Double 10, lefties like tens.
Yeah, it's just that natural angle on that right-hand side of the board. And you see that time and time again, and Meulenkamp is now 1 leg away, and we are on the verge of yet another upset here at the International Darts Open. We've had a few of them already today. It started so good for the seeded players, didn't it? But then we had Ronnie Huybrechts seeing off Christo Reyes, Peter Jakes beating Benito van der Pas, finalist 2 years ago. Then it was the turn of Daryl Gurney losing out to Dennis Nielsen in the second match of the evening session, and potentially here the 2015 champion and the number 4 seed Michael Smith needs to win the next 3 points on the floor there though for Ron the Bomb.
40.
Well, it's just one break he's down here. That's what Michael Smith needs to remind himself of. This is not a lost cause by any stretch, but it's his finishing tonight that's let him down. 3 from 18 for Michael Smith.
Yeah, he'll want to chuck those statistics in the bin.
Yeah, he will know that. He'll be well aware of where the problem lies here tonight.
One thing we know about Michael Smith, though, when he's got his tail up, he can wrap off 3 legs against anyone in the world. Can he find 3 legs now?
Well, the scoring seems to have deserted him at times here as well. That just seems to have tailed off. The average, well, it's still significantly higher than that of Meulenkamp, but 92.44. We've seen better than that from Smith this year on the European stage.
140.
Not just the average, but the first 9 is a difference of 17 there. That's an eternity in the first 9.
42.
Ian White is thinking that his darts manufacturer stablemate and management stablemate may be on the next flight out.
Yeah, Meulenkamp has stolen the darts here. 42 from Smith 60 on his last visit. Just 60 though from Meulenkamp. So Michael Smith just needs to try and force the issue once again here. Can't find the treble once again though. 60 from Smith gets him down to 126. Meulenkamp on a finish first of 121. It's a biggie, but he's capable of doing this, as he proved yesterday and already today in this one. That's the bullseye. 71 away.
81.
This sets it up.
This has got to go. 419s and bull. How many times has he hit this in his life? Can't get the treble. It's looking very much like another seed is going to be toppled. Ron Meulenkamp, 3 darts for tops. Needs 1. It's all over. Michael Smith has every right to be very, very disappointed with that there. It just wasn't his night, but it's Ron the Bomb's night. He's the one who goes through. He's going to be playing against Rob Cross or Josh Payne. We'll find out who wins that one later on. But the artist formerly known as Ron Meulenkamp, the improved Ron Meulenkamp, he wins. We'll grab a few words with him in a second with Elmar, and I'm sure his pocket of Dutch fans are delighted with him getting through this match. Interesting conversation coming up. We'll grab a word with Ron now.
A win against the number 8 in the world.
Well, a win is a win. It was a bit scrappy here and there, but I still cannot believe I practiced so well on my scoring, because yesterday my scoring wasn't that well. In practice went okay, but I still need to get used on the stage to scoring, yeah.
It's a great crowd, huh?
I love it here. Thank you very much. It's really busy. Thank you. Thanks.
It's really, what you said, a crappy game. You had an average of 82. It's strange, and to be the top 10 player with that.
Yeah, but I learned, and I spoke to it backstage today, averages doesn't matter, as long as you hit the winning double.
You did it. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow, Ron. Ron Meulenkamp. Mit einem 82er Average bezwingt er Michael Smith, aber Ron sagt, ach, das habe ich zuletzt noch besprochen.